Hello students, let us start with your courtroom procedure. Very important topic and very complicated topic. I will make it very simple for you. Starting with courtroom procedure. First of all, take that same example which I dealt in your starting of the chapter in the regarding definition of forensic medicine. A 40-year-old lady who has fallen from third floor. Husband alleges to the police that my wife has fallen from third floor. At autopsy, I was the autopsy doctor. I found no injuries suggesting this case to be a case of fall from height. I found 3 big incised wounds over forehead. So, 40-year-old lady who has fallen from third floor, according to the history, the case was initially an accidental case. It was turned into a homicidal case with the prime accused being your husband of the wife. He used a heavy sharp cutting weapon like an axe actually the axe was used in that case. So the dead body has come to me, suppose for autopsy purpose. I will do the autopsy, I will make the postmortem report mentioning 3 big incised wounds with cut fractures of underlying skull bone. Now after I will submit my postmortem report to the police and I will hand over the dead body. After postmortem, the dead body is handed over to police by us, not to the relatives. We have got the dead body and the papers from police. We will hand over the same to the police. Now the police will hand over the dead body to the relatives. This was your question of All India. After postmortem, a body is handed over to concerned IO of the case. Okay. Suppose everything has finished from my part. Now the police part is, the police will attach the postmortem report. They will turn the case in their charge sheet. They will, in the FIR, it will be changed from an accidental case to a homicidal case. So 302 IPC, which deals with your punishment for murder, will be 302 charges will be framed against the husband. Now there will be 2 parties. Now the case will finally go to the courts. In the court, in the center place is your judge. Okay. On one side, suppose on my right side is your victim side, the female who has died due to the attack by the husband. Victim side is also called by different names. Victim is also known as complainant or plaintiff. They will have a lawyer to present their case in the court of law. The lawyer of victim side is called public prosecutor. In Hindi, we call it Sarkari Vakil. On my left side, the other party will be there. Who is the other party? The accused party or the husband in the said case. So accused will now have to defend himself because the cases, charges have been framed against him under 302 IPC. He will be the person who will be defending himself. So to defend himself, he will take the help of a lawyer. So the lawyer of accused side or defendant side is called defense lawyer. He will be defending the accused. So these are the parties. In the center is the judge. On one side is the victim and other side is your accused. They have their own lawyers. Public prosecutor, defense lawyer. Now the judge sees the papers, all the charge sheet files, all the history of the case. Then the public prosecutor, the lawyer of victim side, he will say to the judge, Judge Saab, these are my witnesses. One autopsy doctor who has done the autopsy has changed the case from accidental to homicidal case. So he is my prime witness to the case. Okay. His evidence is very important for me. So please summon him. So number 1 person, he will summon me. Suppose public prosecutor, he has another witness. That witness is a type of, I am an expert witness to the case because I will be giving my forensic expertise in the court of law. So as to what the findings were, I will have to prove them in the court of law. So I am an expert witness to the case. Under section 45 of Indian Evidence Act, expert witness is defined. Other types of witnesses, suppose there is a neighbor of the lady who has actually seen the crime happening. The husband bringing the dead body from third floor to ground floor, and he is the person who has actually seen everything. So he is a common witness to the case. So who is the common witness? common witness is a person who has first-hand knowledge about a crime. First-hand knowledge means who has actually seen the crime occurring. So, common witness is defined in 118 section of Indian Evidence Act. 45 section, expert witness, common witness, 118 section. Common witness has which knowledge? First-hand knowledge. What is first-hand knowledge? A person who has actually seen the crime occurring. This was asked in your All India. Common witness is a person who has first-hand knowledge, second-hand knowledge. These were the options. Options were like this. Correct answer is, a common witness is a person who has first-hand knowledge about a crime. Okay. So, public prosecutor witness are suppose two types, common witness and expert witness, and some other IOs. The history will be given by the IO that the husband called us and told us that the case is a fall from height, but during investigation it was found that it is not a case of fall from height. So, he will be the third person, the public prosecutor's witness. So, he will call 3 or 4 witnesses. Now, this defense lawyer has to defend the case of the husband. He has to protect the accused party. He will bring his own witnesses. He will recommend the judge that these are my witnesses. Please summon them. So, after hearing the plea of the lawyers, judge will issue summons to the witnesses. Suppose I receive a document which compels, where it is written, Dr. Vishwajeet Singh, you have to come to Karkarduma Court, Delhi on 10th of February, 2 p.m. in afternoon. Okay. So, my purpose is I will attend the court. Okay. So, what is that document or paper? That is called summon. Summon is a document. First, I will give you a briefing, then I will make you write all the things. Summon is a document compelling attendance of witness in court of law on a particular date and time. Purpose? For the purpose of giving witness, for the purpose of giving evidence, because I am an expert witness to the case. Okay. So, judge issues summons. All the witnesses arrive court on their particular date and time, which is mentioned in the summon. Suppose I go to the court. What will happen? Judge will say, Doctor, please take the oath, because without oath, recording of evidence cannot be done. Okay. Recording of evidence is not done. Then, regarding oaths, there are some points I will make you write. After suppose I administer oath, what will happen? I was called by public prosecutor. So, he has all the rights to do my first examination or first recording. He has the right to record my evidence first. So, what is that first examination called as? That is called direct examination or examination in chief. I was called by public prosecutor. He will do my first examination, that is direct examination or examination in chief. Okay. I will give the details of the postmortem report and whatever things are asked to me by the public prosecutor. After this, I will be cross-examined by other side lawyer. Who is the other side lawyer? Defense lawyer. So, my cross-examination will be done by the other party. Okay. So, cross-examination will be done. Now, this defense lawyer has a privilege in law. He can ask some questions to me which are answerable in yes or no manner. Such questions are called leading questions. All questions which are answerable in yes or no. Suppose the defense lawyer asks me, Doctor, whether you conducted the postmortem yourself or not. I will say, yes, it was conducted by me, yes or no. These are leading questions. Public prosecutor cannot ask leading questions. Except in which cases, during examination in chief, leading questions can be asked. If that exception is, if a witness turns hostile, leading questions can be asked during examination in chief. Okay. So, first type of examination is direct examination, second is cross examination. Third type of examination is, suppose I uttered something which took away the case from victim side. Now, this public prosecutor has all the rights to re-examine me. This is called redirect examination. And last part of courtroom procedure is court questions. Question was asked in one of the exams. What do you mean by court questions? Questions asked by judge at any time of judicial proceeding. Judge can ask any question from any witness. In that said case, judge asked me 4 or 5 questions regarding, like he asked me, Doctor, please tell the court whether this case appears to be a case of fall from height in written. So I wrote the case is not a case of fall from height. It is actually a homicidal case based on absence of injuries all over body. Why homicide? Because of 3 major injuries in the form of incised wounds along with cut fracture of the skull bone. This is not possible by fall from height. Okay. So all these questions which were asked by judge are court questions. So let us write down courtroom procedure. On one side is your victim. Victim side is also called as complainant. Or plaintiff. These are the synonyms basically of your victim side. Their lawyer is called as public prosecutor. In Hindi, we call them sarkari vakil. On the other side, you have accused, who is also called as defendant, and the lawyer of accused side is called defense lawyer. In between is your judge. After making a note from the people, from the lawyers, he will issue summons. Judge will issue summons to witnesses. He will issue summon to witnesses. Then what are the types of witnesses you should know to solve your questions? Number 1 is common witness. Who is a common witness? A person who has first-hand knowledge about a crime. A person who has first-hand knowledge about crime. This simply means who has actually seen the crime. A person who has actually seen the crime by his eyes. And common witness is defined in which section of law? It is defined in 118 section of Indian Evidence Act. Defines common witness. And this section of law, 118 section of Indian Evidence Act, it says all persons are competent. No age has been mentioned that so and so person can only become a witness. So a child of 2 year, 1 year, whatever the age may be, if he is competent to put the evidence forward, his evidence will be recorded. So all persons are competent according to law. No age is defined. Second important thing is your second type of witness is your expert witness. Like a forensic doctor is an expert witness under which law? Under section 45 of Indian Evidence Act. Expert witness is defined. And third type of your witness is your hostile witness. A hostile witness is a person who has turned away in court. Turned away from which thing? Turned away from his previous statements. Turned away in court from his previous statements. All such witnesses are called hostile witnesses. Important thing, in case of hostile witness, leading questions can be asked by the lawyer who has called him. Okay. Suppose the defense lawyer has brought forward a witness. His first examination will be done by the defense lawyer, that is examination in chief. Now, if the witness is a hostile witness, leading questions will be asked by defense lawyer itself. If a witness has been called by public prosecutor, suppose forensic expert has been called by public prosecutor, I have turned hostile. Leading questions in such scenario will be asked by public prosecutor during examination in chief. This is the exception. Can be asked by lawyer who has called the witness. So, during which examination these questions will be asked? Leading questions during examination in chief. This is the single exception, or direct examination. Let us now come to the three types of recording. After the types of witnesses, what will happen? Oath will be administered. Oath administration is must. Oath is administered because without oath taking, evidence won't be recorded in court of law. Now, there are some exceptions of oath administration. These are important. A child less than 12 years, less than 12-year person, no oath is administered. These are your exceptions. And second exception is a atheist person. Normally what we say in oath, in the name of God, whatever I will speak, it will be truth. Now there are some people who don't believe in God itself. They are called atheist. So in case of an atheist person, it is recommended that you should solemnly affirm on yourself. So they will say, I solemnly affirm. Without taking name of God, they will solemnly affirm, and this is acceptable in court of law. Okay. So no oath is administered to a child less than 12 years. Okay. After this oath, what will happen? The recording of evidence will start. Recording of evidence will start. And first type of recording will be your, or first type of examination will be examination in chief. Also called as direct examination. In the said example of lady falling from third floor, I was called by public prosecutor, so he will do my first examination. If a witness is called by defense lawyer, his examination in chief will be done by the defense lawyer. Remember this important point. Second type of examination will be cross examination. Now after chief, I will be cross examined. This will be done by defense lawyer. In my case, defense lawyer. Important points regarding cross examination. It has got no time limit. This is the reason for dates in cases. The cases go on lingering for 20 years, 30 years. This is the reason, because cross examination has no time limit. So the lawyers keep on pending the case to make their okay. So it has got no time limit. Then leading questions can be allowed. Leading questions are allowed during cross examination. What are leading questions? Questions answerable. Any question which is answerable in yes or no manner. In yes or no manner. What is the exception? Leading questions can be asked during examination in chief. From which type of witnesses? Hostile witness. Hostile witness. After cross examination, third type of evidence recording is I can be redirectly examined. What can happen is redirect examination. This will again in the said case be done by public prosecutor. And last type of thing in courtroom procedures is your court questions. What do you mean by court questions? By the word court questions, we mean questions asked by judge at any time of judicial proceeding. At any time of judicial proceeding. Done. This finishes your courtroom procedure.